Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily, and I just want you to know, that person you think is mad at you, they're probably not really mad at you. Maybe they were just having a bad day, or if they didn't respond to your text, maybe it's because they just forgot or meant to, got a little busy. Cut them some slack, but more importantly, cut yourself some slack. Be nicer to yourself. Nobody treats my friends like that. I'm here today with the special cranker from Earthquaker Devices. It's their newest device. It's, well, new to us. It's my understanding that the special cranker was originally a limited release overseas, but now we have it. Finally, justice for us. It is the next iteration of their speaker cranker. Please tell me I said special cranker before. Wow. The special cranker is the next iteration of the speaker cranker. They said in their materials to think of it as putting an extra extra preamp tube in your amplifier. So it's going to give you an extra push. As they say. I'm going to be running it through my Benson Monarch Reverb with my G&L ASAT. Something, it's kind of a mystery what this guitar is. Other than the G&L ASAT, T-style, friend with the B-bender. Beep, beep. Let's talk about the controls. We have level, that's volume. The middle is pretty much unity from what I was playing. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I'm going to start with the gain down there when I do start playing. The tone and the more, and that's going to add the gain. We can go between germanium, which is going to be a little quieter, have a softer, more rounded response. There are two diodes, germanium and silicone. So now you understand what the germanium is. The silicone is going to be louder, brighter, more modern. They're both going to be very responsive. I think they both sound great. And I'm not going to compensate for volume in this demo. I'm not going to play with the levels in post to make them sound the same. So as you're listening, please keep that in mind. They both sound phenomenal. The silicone is going to be a little bit louder, but everything, like, as the materials say, like, and I think that is right. Power chords will sound thicker and crunchier, a little more ragged around the edges. Complex chords will remain distinct and complex. It's going to preserve your tone's integrity without muddying up the low end or smearing the mid-range. I really have been enjoying this pedal, so let's get to the demo so you can hear it. Stay tuned. All right, I'm gonna start with my clean tone. All right. I'm going to try to just toggle between germanium and silicone because I think that's probably the best way to showcase the differences between the two. The silicone is going to be a little bit louder, just so you know. I don't think it's going to be louder enough to make a huge difference in the editing process, and I hope I don't eat my words. I'm going to start with the gain all the way down and the tone up a little bit. The tone, well, as you might expect, brighter to the right, darker to the left. I feel like it gets quite a bit darker, but it doesn't get overly tinny bright. So here we go. So that was the germanium. is silicone. 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 God, I'm so sorry. Silicone. Boop. Nice. Crank that more. This riff is going to sound really silly really soon with this much gain. Bump. I feel like the level actually stays pretty consistent when you add more. I don't feel like you really have to dial it back a lot. I am just a bit on the silicone because it gets so much. It is a bit louder, but I'm not clipping. I think that's how that goes. While the gain is still up on silicone, let's sweep the tone around. You'll see what I mean when I say it doesn't get overly harsh on. You'll see what I mean when I say it doesn't get overly harsh when we go more into the treble side of things, and I really like that because I don't like it when pedals get like that. really trebly, but it does get quite dark. So you've heard it dimed. Of course, you want to hear it dimed. A setting I really like is I like adding just a little bit of treble, just a skosh of more. Well, like that's not just a skosh. It's like 10 o'clock. I really like how this sounds with the Benson, which that's a 40-watt amp. And I live in a townhouse, so I have to keep it to about 1, or things start to shake off the walls, if you know what I mean. So I really like this sound. You can even add a little bit more. That sounds like a guitar. Sounds great on a germanium too. The germanium is naturally going to be a little bit darker. That's a great reason to have that tone knob. As you listen to this demo, and perhaps listen back to this demo, and I should have said that before, is when you're making thoughts right now about like, oh, germanium or silicone sounds better, our ears are going to be just naturally and immediately drawn to the louder one. I'm not going to compensate the volume because I don't want to do a lot. I don't do a lot of things in post in the demos because I think that's like disingenuous and not fair. So that's why I turned up the volume there, just so you can hear the germanium does sound really freaking good. I really love the sound of this pedal as a whole. Like this sounds great. This is an obvious evolution of the speaker cranker. It has the volume goes from basically nothing to twice as loud as like there to like double the volume. It's not like overly gainy on tap, but it's like plenty of gain. I feel like the tone control is what you want. There's lots of the tones in there are all good, as it doesn't get into the point where you're like, oh, some of these tones are getting bad. So that's why I love well curated pedals, and that's why it matters. I always talk about how I love pedals that can do too much, but there's a soft spot. There's a great space for well curated pedals. So like this is smart, and just those two the diodes, the silicone and germanium diodes, being able to toggle between those, it really shows you just how different those two elements can sound and what people mean when they talk about those. Because it can feel a little in the clouds sometimes when you aren't like as experienced or don't have a very well-trained ear. But having it that in a single pedal, that makes a big difference. That can really help. yeah, so that is a quick look at the special cranker by Earthquaker Devices. I hope you enjoyed this demo. Please consider checking it out via our affiliate links in the video description. If you need anything else, we have, links for Sweetwater, Reverb. If you need pickups, Seymour Duncan. We have Perfect Circuit, want some guitar lessons, Coach Guitar. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/getoffset. Though my personal favorite way to support the channel is to like, comment, and subscribe. So, give that person that you think is mad at you a little bit of space. They're probably not really. And if they are, that's something they should tell you if they love you. So for everyone out there, thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. Thank you for Earthquaker Devices for sending this to me in exchange for a demo. Brands like them keep this channel afloat and going. I couldn't do it without them. And I always love supporting and getting support from Ohio companies. I'm a former Ohioan myself. I have a big soft spot for Ohio. So yeah, I think I might have probably already said it, but thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. Until next time, my name is Emily. Goodbye.